All right, guys, so this is our very first headlines from the sidelines. And what we're going to do is talk about headlines that are going on, mostly coming from MikeSwick.com or other sites. And
there are other sites?
There are other sites, Mark.
No clue.
And we're going to go ahead and just give our take on what the current headlines are. I think now getting into this Ferguson-Khabib fight, a huge issue for the world, which I don't understand, is Conor McGregor not being stripped of his belt. It just seems like it's just people can't understand why the UFC hasn't stripped Conor McGregor. They can't understand why Dana won't comment, and they can't understand. I don't know why they just can't understand.
There's something got to be going
like
on
that. I don't understand it. So I talked to some of my guys, Dan Rose and some of my staff at MikeSwick.com, and we were just talking about this, and it was just like amazing to us that A, anybody cares, and B, that it's just really though that. It's not a big deal. He's a champion. He is the champion. Who cares when he gets stripped? And it becomes this huge deal. And like Errol asked Dana, I don't know, like 5 times or something, how many, you know, or why hasn't he been stripped, or is he going to be stripped, or what the situation is. And like, you know, Dana wouldn't answer the question, which means something's going on. There's a reason why. Obviously, there's a reason why if he's not going to tell you. And Errol just kept asking, but it's like, first of all, what you want to give your take or?
Well, I think why people are so curious is because you got that, I apologize, can't remember her name, but the smaller female fighter that refused one fight and got her title stripped, remember?
Right.
So maybe that's just like, well, you know, Conor's not, how long's it been since he fought? You know?
But this is the biggest draw in UFC history.
Exactly. I get
he's their superstar. Yeah. So when you take a belt away from a superstar like Conor McGregor, that devalues the UFC and that devalues Conor, right? Conor enjoys saying he's the champion. I mean, that helps his brand, and that helps him. And it also helps the UFC to have a champion in their organization who's one of the biggest stars in sports, like literally one of the highest paid guys in all of sports and all of the world. So the shocking thing to me is why is anybody not thinking that Dana's not going to strip Conor McGregor to the last minute, especially when you're fighting, or when the fight consists of 2 guys that have been scheduled to face 3 times? If I remember correctly, it was Ultimate Fighter Finale 22. Khabib pulled out for a rib. Yeah. And then it was UFC on Fox 19. And then that was Tony Ferguson pulled out for an undisclosed injury. And then I believe it was UFC 209, the big one, where obviously the weight issue was with Khabib. So that's 3 times these guys were supposed to face each other, and they didn't fight. And that's the fight that we're looking at right now. Now, I'm not saying Khabib's going to not make weight. I'm not saying something's going to happen to Ferguson. I 100% believe this fight's going to happen.
It better.
And I think everyone believes that. But as fate would have it, it hasn't happened yet for whatever reason. And even if it wasn't these guys, even if it was like anyone, like someone who's never pulled out of a fight, why would you strip Conor McGregor until that hand gets raised? Because until that hand gets raised, there's not a new champion. You know what I mean? There's not a new... And Khabib went on TMZ yesterday, and he was saying how TMZ was asking him, like, is it for sure for a title because Conor hasn't been stripped, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, 100% is for a title because my contract says the real belt. I mean, I'm fighting for the real belt. But you haven't won the real belt yet. So it's like, I don't know why everybody's so confused as why... There's nothing that says Conor has to be stripped a month before or 3 months before or a week before or even 30 minutes before. Maybe Conor McGregor's going to come in the ring and he's going to hand him the belt and say, you know, this is my belt. You can have it. You didn't even win it, and I'm going to fight you and build up some kind of like, you know, some shenanigans that's going to build up another fight.
I think it kind of, I got two theories.
All right.
Now, I may be talking out of my ass here, but.
You will be, but let's hear it anyway.
When we were 9, watching wrestling and all that stuff, who would you root for? Hulk Hogan, because he was always champion.
Yeah.
When I think the average fan, it's not like I knew all the wrestlers or whatever, but, you know, you kind of associate that with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
So when he wasn't champion, it's like, wrestling blows, you know?
Yeah.
That, I wonder if the average fan, or just the casual fan, if you will, sees that as sort of the UFC thing. And also, the video game that's out right now, it's Conor holding 2 belts on the cover. All right, now, if he doesn't have that, it's kind of like, it kind of devalues the game a little bit. Like, maybe people think, like, oh, it looks like an older game now or something like that. And it might be stupid, but think about it. How many millions of those video games do they sell? And what are they, $70 a pop? They probably make more off that than some of the pay-per-views.
I don't I agree a little bit with the first one. I don't think it's as much on the video game because sometimes it gets outdated. I do see your point.
Because they're still, even on this.
But he isn't a 2-time champion. So he did get one of those belts taken away anyway. But he is a champion. So, but the point is, why devalue your champion when you don't have to? And people are like, well, why can't Dana just say it? Dana's building a fight.
Yeah.
Dana's building Khabib versus Ferguson. Why the hell is he going to act scared to the public that fight might not happen? You know what I mean? Like, why would you put that in people's mind? You want people to buy that pay-per-view. You want that to be a huge draw, and it is, and it's going to happen. I'm not trying to jinx the fight. I'm just saying, of course he's not going to say that we're not taking away Conor's belt because the fight might not happen. Because then the world's going to go like, what? The fight might not happen. You know, what if it doesn't happen? And then it puts all this stuff in your head, you know? And it's like, this has no relevance on the fight not happening. It's going to happen. Trust me when I tell you, Khabib's on my team. I know how the training's going. He's 100% ready. He's 100% ready as far as his weight and his training.
He's also 100% going to win this fight.
And I think he's going to win the fight. Now, I'm not taking nothing away from Ferguson. I think it's going to be an absolutely amazing fight because Ferguson is so tough, and I think Ferguson is so good on his back. And I think that's where he's going to be most of the time because of Khabib. Yeah. And I think what's going to happen is he might cut up Khabib. I think that's going to be the downside. He's going to land some elbows. And so, but then again, I also know that the way they're training Khabib, they must be preparing for that. You know, they're going to know his game. It's not like the first time they've ran into Ferguson before. But I do pick Khabib for sure. And the fight's going to happen. So I mean, I'm not trying to sit there and scare people by saying this, but it's just shocking to me that people can't get over this whole, like, why does Conor not have the belt? It's just crazy to me.
Well, I heard of some theory, something about, like, with Mayweather coming back, he kind of wants to be for a belt or something like that. I mean,
there's no way.
Mayweather's, I don't know. What's your thoughts on Mayweather coming back or coming to the UFC?
Okay, so here's my thoughts on that. So I made a tweet maybe a couple days ago or a few days ago, and I said, as crazy as it sounds, because I saw the videos of Mayweather going to the cage and all that, and then Dana retweeting it and stuff. And these are two guys that don't waste their time. I know Dana a little bit, and I know of Mayweather, and it doesn't seem like these two guys waste their time. And they do things that shock you and surprise you, and they pull it off. That's just what they do. That's who they are. So I made a tweet saying that as crazy as it sounds, I have a scary feeling that we're going to see Floyd Mayweather in the UFC somehow, because this is a guy who loves money and who spends a lot of money, so it's a huge fight. And I started thinking about him, and I started becoming really regretful for that, because I'm like, man, there's no way this guy's fighting. He's 41 years old. He's not fighting. So we started analyzing, me and the MSC crew, my staff at MSC, and like we started analyzing kind of the situation, and it's like, okay, so when he came into the cage, he was wearing shorts that were not officially fight shorts, but they had PP on them, which stands for Paddy Power. Now, Paddy Powder, I can't even say the name. Paddy Power, what a weird name you guys have as a company, by the way. Paddy Power, and now here we are promoting him even more. I'm not getting paid shit.
You're promoting Paddy Power?
Yeah, here I'm doing exactly what I'm about to say Floyd's doing is what I'm doing. Paddy Power is a betting site, and he walked into the ring and showed the Paddy Power shorts, but you couldn't really see him.
Which is started with that.
No. That's the second time.
Oh, I haven't seen the other video.
So that's why I believe it even more. Because he walked in the octagon once and did his little point. Of course, it's going to go viral. Of course, everyone's going to see it. But you can't tell what it is. You can't see, because it's an Instagram video, you can't see that it says Paddy Power. I hate saying it now.
Oh, that's all right.
I hate promoting this company.
But I bet you do.
Nice. What are the odds of that? So here's the situation. On the first video, you couldn't really tell what company it was. So lo and behold, here he comes on a second video, which starts with the camera on Paddy Power. Paddy Power.
Wow.
I'm just gonna keep confusing you guys so you don't get the right page. Paddy Poodoo Powder. That's what it said on the leg. Right. And what happened was, so it started on that, and then it panned up to him, and he said something along the lines of 2018 MMA, Floyd Mayweather. What are the odds, Paddy? What are the odds? So then he named the company, the betting site. So clearly he's doing a commercial. Clearly he's getting paid from Paddy Power, and that's what that was. And then all of a sudden it became this whole CM Punk thing, because one of the odds makers apparently listed or went through all the UFC fighters and wanted to find the UFC fighter that had the maximum amount of opportunity to give him a fight, because obviously, I mean, he wouldn't want to fight Invicta if he fought real MMA.
Invicta's all women.
Yeah. So they were trying to find someone they could possibly match up with that had the least amount of experience, and they said CM Punk, and then that became a big deal. Then this whole thing got brought back up again. But the problem with that is CM Punk's 30 pounds bigger than him, and he's already booked a fight. He's fighting coming up soon. So that's not going to happen. So long story short, Floyd Mayweather's not going to fight.
Never.
But want some insight?
Please.
Because we have some sources telling us at MSC that Floyd Mayweather is getting into managing MMA fighters.
Really?
Yes. So I think he might be a part of UFC, or at least MMA in general, in 2018, but from a manager perspective.
That's not nearly as cool as him fighting.
Of course not.
So who cares?
But he's not lying. I mean, so his little like stunt wouldn't be a total troll, but like, yeah. So that's a little input that again, I have no idea for sure. It's not confirmed, but there is talks on that, and we do know Dana White's going into boxing. Yeah. And we do know that Floyd Mayweather, if he hasn't before, he definitely knows now how powerful the UFC is. So it only makes sense that there's some crossover here. Now, considering Dana gave Floyd Mayweather the fight of his life against Conor McGregor, you have to think there's something coming back, right? That's just the way business works. You give somebody something, you take something back. So
they're both going to retire and start a business together.
No, but I think Floyd owes the UFC and Dana somehow. Be it that he's going to help Dana get into boxing and help do something there in exchange for him coming to UFC and managing fighters. That's my opinion. That's MSC's opinion. That's where we're at. So overall, the headline from the sideline about Conor McGregor not being stripped, our opinion, my opinion, is because why would you do it? Makes no sense. Makes no sense to strip the most powerful sports figure of our time, pretty much, damn near, one of the highest paid in the world, of his belt until the fight is actually taking place and there's a champion with his hand raised.
I think I'm right about
the video.
Is
that crazy to think that? I mean,
I'm
is
right
it crazy?
I'm right about the video
I'm
game.
sure there's a lot of people that feel the same way as I do that are thinking about this from a...
Well, let us know.
Yeah, let us know below in the comments. I mean, let us know your thoughts on that. And let us know if you think Conor McGregor is going to fight again. Because another thing I want to get into is Conor McGregor fighting, because people think Conor's going to fight again. I don't.
Why would he?
Why would he fight? You fight to get a certain amount of money. Then you want to take that money and maximize it. And Conor McGregor is an entrepreneur. He's the guy that likes to wear nice clothes, dress nice, turn his money into more money. I mean, he's got that business mind. He's got people around him that are business minds, and like, you know, he idolized Lorenzo Fertitta. I mean, you could just see it. He loved Lorenzo Fertitta. And so I think that's where he's headed. I think he's wanting to be his own mogul now. And that is going to take away if he fights. I mean, he's not going to be able to fight and be 100% into a fight for 3 months in a cage and not do any business and not do anything else on the sidelines and get ready for a fight where he might make $5 million, where he could possibly make more than that outside the cage. I just can't imagine it happening. He may box if he can get like a huge fight, which is going to pay him like $50 or $100 million. He's not going to take a fight, in my opinion, in the UFC for like $4 or $5 million.
I just think, okay, like you.
And maybe he'd be a big enough draw to get $10 million.
Well,
maybe it happens.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Look, here's
I don't think he needs to, so why would he?
Here's what I mean, again, I'm not a fighter, you know, but you, like, I know you get those guys that love to fight, okay, but then you got the guys that still have to fight well into their late 30s, early 40s just because they didn't save their money, bad business, whatever it is. I think once you reach that level, I don't think you're going to fight for less than what you think you deserve.
No.
So I don't see him fighting for, you know, like, I love you. I would not want you to see you fight in Legacy Fighting Championship for $3,000.
No.
You know, I mean, I feel you're above that, you know. So, and of course you're not Conor McGregor level, or we'd be way better friends than we are now. But
I get it. But I have a 6-figure contract with the UFC right now, and I don't want to fight. Like, you don't want to fight unless you have to. You want to fight because you want to. And there was a time in my life when I wanted to be a fighter, and that time's over. I don't want to fight anymore. I want to do business, and I want to pursue other options.
Would you fight McGregor?
I'd fight McGregor.
Okay,
of course I would.
I'd fight McGregor.
That's business.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You can chalk that. You can chalk that right up as business, though.
But you wouldn't fight McGregor for $10,000, would you?
No.
What's the fucking
I
point?
wouldn't.
Exactly. So he's not going to fight.
So I don't see why he would. I don't. And they say there's the itch of a fighter, and he misses the ring, and that's what every fighter says that wants to get paid a lot of money to come back to fight. But if you have a lot of money, there's no itch to go back in there. He's walking away a 2-time champion. Yeah. You can't walk away from the sport any better. His brand just grows and grows and grows. His legacy grows and grows and grows. Everything about this man just grows and grows and grows. The longer you're away, the bigger you look, right? This is Rocky Marciano thing. Like
John Elway.
You become a god, right? If you walk away from the sport as a 2-time champion and invest your money well and keep making money, why would you ever risk that again for any reason whatsoever? It was a huge risk for Floyd to fight him for, 49 and 0 going to 50 and 0, possibly losing. I mean, it was a little risk though. It was a little risk though. But either way, but Conor McGregor ain't gonna do it. I don't think, man. Yeah. He's leaving the sport as the best. Other than him, GSP is the only other man that's ever left the sport at the right time. GSP left a champion. No, he's not back.
Well, he just fought Bisping.
No, but he left though.
Yeah, no, I know.
So the only thing better than leaving as the greatest welterweight of all time who beat every man he's ever fought and had the belt when he left is to come back and beat the middleweight champion.
Get another belt and
get
then
that
leave
belt and leave that belt and go.
That's pretty badass.
He's the greatest. And he left on the best terms of anyone I've ever seen in the sport of MMA in history. The only person that can outdo GSP is Conor McGregor, a 2-time consecutive champion. It has two consecutive belts and 2 different. I mean, I know one was stripped, but either way, he didn't lose it. Yeah. And if he walks away, why would you risk that? Why would you ever risk that?
I don't know.
Not when you have $100 million.
Exactly.
You can risk it when you have $1 million.
If he had,
you know what I mean? But $100 million is a lot of money.
Which he's got more than $100 million.
So we're not going to ramble on. We don't want these to be too long.
But how insightful was this shit, huh?
I mean, what we want to do is just spark interest, guys. So we're not journalists, right? We're not news
He's not.
guys. I'm definitely not. I just spent a long time fighting, and I'm just doing business right now and owning a gym. But I'm just trying to spark interest in you guys, and I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to see what you guys think. So leave a comment under this video, and let's talk, because we respond to the comments.
Yeah, so we're going to do this. Somebody's already responding. You hear that?
Yeah, they are.
We're going to be doing these a lot more than the podcast. Podcasts are kind of...
We're going to save those for the big ones.
Yeah.
Big podcasts. And then we're going to do mini casts on just special things that happen, maybe live fights from the Muay Thai stadiums. And then we're going to do these headlines from the sidelines. They're going to be any major headline coming on or any big hot topic that we can talk about and get you guys talking. And then we can kind of communicate with you and see what's going on. And then we're going to
I love talking to y'all on the comments, man. Y'all are there's some pretty funny people on there.
And for me, being retired, this is what I have. This is what I have left. This is the closest thing I can come to being in the fight game.
You're not 70.
No, but I'm saying I have a gym, and that's great, and I have fighters and all that. But as far as like talking to guys that are my old friends or up and coming guys I've never met on the podcast and being involved like we are here, and then talking to the fans and giving our opinion, our experience. I've been in the UFC for over a decade, so I got a lot of experience, a lot of stories, a lot of input. So this is the closest thing I can come to like reliving that again without having to go back and get punched in the face. And I'm really not a fan of getting punched in the face anymore, dude.
I've been punched in the face one time. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So I never did it again.
It was unanswered too, by the way.
What was
just
it?
for the record.
Well, for the record, I was sucker punched from behind.
Yeah.
There was 6 dudes. I didn't even know which one hit me.
Yeah.
But
good thing I wasn't there, because I wouldn't have done shit if there were 6 dudes. Buddy. I'm just telling you, just being honest.
Wow.
I would have just grabbed you and been like, "Hey, my friend's sorry, he's drunk."
My friend's. I was at a grocery store.
Really? I thought this was in Batong.
Way to ruin it.
You went to a grocery store in Batong?
You're an idiot. No, I didn't want people knowing I was. You always say I'm drunk all the time. It looks like
I didn't say I was drunk.
You just did.
I said you were in Batong.
You said I was drunk.
It's a touristy area. You could have been buying some souvenirs for your friends. So he was at a grocery store, and he got punched in Batong. And anyway, so thank you guys for watching, and yeah,
we'll do more of these.
Mark definitely didn't drink. He just got punched for no reason by 6 guys.
Not 6 guys hit me. 1 of 6.
Were they in line? Was it like, were you like the little thing that you score, and you were just a human one, and they was coming to punch you?
I don't know. It was from behind. I don't know what they thought. Maybe they thought I was Brad Pitt. I don't know.
Probably did. That's probably why.
That or Channing Tatum. I get that. Like we talk about
Channing Tatum. Yeah, definitely all the time. All right, guys.
Anyway.
All right, horrible wrapping up even these shows. We can't wrap up any show. Any segment we do, we can't wrap up. But thanks for watching, guys. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on all of this. Let me know your thoughts on Conor McGregor fighting again, Floyd Mayweather fighting, which we all know he's not going to fight. So if you leave a comment saying he's going to fight, delete it, because you're ridiculous. Leave a comment on what you think the reason is Dana's not answering the question about Conor getting stripped. And all the other things we wrapped into one. This could have been 3 headlines, but we just did.
This could have been 9 minutes long. Yeah. I think we turned in What's your guess? 17 and a half.
I think it's like 12. All right, guys. Take care.
Real quick, with Mike Swick. Real quick, with Mike